Hey everyone, Dante here with The Raging Geek, and today we're going to take a look at King Kong and King Kong vs. Godzilla action figures from NECA and Real Toys. So, as you know, this year we're due for the new movie King Kong vs. Godzilla. So everyone's kind of been King Kong and Godzilla crazy this year, especially Godzilla fanatics. So I want to say this is not a rehash, but a rematch of the original movie, King Kong vs. Godzilla, which I believe was in the early 60s, I want to say, 1962 or something like that. Don't judge me too harshly if I get that year wrong, but I think it's the early 60s, King Kong vs. Godzilla. So I got these two figures. I got them from FYE. I got them for a good price, $29.99. And you know, the boxes weren't too pristine, but I wasn't really too concerned with that because I'm going to open these anyway, and I want to do some photography with them. So you know, given like I said, the movie coming out, it was a good opportunity to pick these up. And just to note, you know, for the Godzilla figure, I decided to stick with the original figure, you know, the original suit, and I'm not going with the new modern Godzilla. Because, you know, frankly, I'm not too crazy about the new Godzilla. And, I mean, it's okay, but, you know, he still doesn't measure up, I think, to, you know, the original Japanese versions of Godzilla. So, this figure, too, it doesn't, it's more, this has more of a likeness to the newer King Kong. If anything, though, I don't know if you can see from here, but I'll be taking it out. It has two heads, and the one that's on his body right now, I think if anything could possibly pass for the original King Kong, but the one not on his body, that's more of the, I think, contemporary one, which is the one that's on the picture here. But let's open these up and see what kind of quality figures we're dealing with here. Again, I'll get my trusty X-Acto knife to open these up. So yeah, I don't know if you guys ever seen the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. I mean, the suit on the original King Kong, in my opinion, was like, well, I mean, I can't really say much for the Godzilla one either. I mean, out of all the monster suits in that movie, and I don't know why that is, but they had to be the worst, you know, interpretations of or depictions of Godzilla and King Kong. Just horrible. The face on King Kong was like, I don't even know what that was. It looked like just someone sat on the original mold or something. It has no likeness to King Kong and the Godzilla one. I don't know what it just. The Godzilla one looks like one of those bad, one of those cheap Godzilla action figures that you used to get in like the 70s and 80s. but really bad. So in the original movie, King Kong vs. Godzilla, if you watched it, you know that in the end, you know, they both kind of fall into the water in a heated struggle, and then only Kong surfaces from the water, you know, and Godzilla was nowhere to be seen. So, you know, there's a big debate on who actually won that battle. But you know, definitely not one of Godzilla's best fighting outings, or you know, what he's really capable of. So I hope he really does better this time around, because I know the new Kong is like really, you know, agile. So I'm kind of worried that Godzilla's not going to do too well against Kong in this new movie. But you know, hopefully they do right by the fans and give Godzilla a win or a respectable draw in this new movie, and or even maybe an alliance of some sort. You know, King Kong and Godzilla, you know, work together against some future enemy. You know, like maybe some alien invasion or something, or a new wave of alien monsters. Because I know they made in the other one, you know, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Well, yeah, I mean, technically King Ghidorah was an alien monster, but didn't kind of, you know, arrive from outer space. You know, it was only years, you know, millennia or centuries or whatever you want to say, millennia in the past that he arrived. But he was already on Earth, so it would be cool if King Kong and Godzilla actually joined forces to fight off some sort of, you know, new wave of alien monsters. You know, maybe like from Planet X or some other out of space world in the Godzilla universe. You know, maybe like Gigan and a few other monsters. I forget, in Final Wars, so the alien world was like the Xylon or something like that. The Xylons. So here is the face. Alright, well, let me just start with the King Kong figure. So here we go, we got the King Kong figure. You can see his arms are really disproportionately longer than everything else, I guess, you know, to make it more realistic to a gorilla or you know, some sort of primitive primate. But if you get closer, here's the face. And he has the torso, you know, movement, so you can move him from the torso, you know, slightly. Shoulders move. They move very begrudgingly laterally. So be careful when you're doing that. His biceps, they rotate a bit. Elbows move at both joint, you know, at the bicep and at the forearm. You know, wrists move. They have wrists, actually, they just rotate. The legs do have a nice lateral motion. They go up and down like that. The knees, they move at the thigh and at the shins, and the feet, they just rotate. They don't move forward and back. The head just turns from side to side like that. So that's the closed fist. He comes with two other hands. And from looking at the hands, they do more than rotate. They should go up and down. They should flex like forward and back like that. I'm not sure about these. Actually, yeah, the fists do it too, so sorry. They don't only just rotate, they flex up and down like that. So you got both other hands here, more like a grasping hand, and then on the figure you have the two closed fist hands. And the more enraged Kong skull here gives a nice look like Kong is really ticked off. And let's move on to Godzilla. Gojira, as they like to call him. And they actually have tail assembly instructions, so it looks like they want you to warm the tail up before trying to put it into the bowl joint socket. So I'm not going to do that here, but here's the diagram here just so you know what to do. I'll probably do that later. But the one cool thing is that this figure comes with a fire blast, so that's nice for effect. So, you know, you could get a pose going and then have the fire effect coming out, and then, you know, you could probably Photoshop it to make it a little more, you know, embellish it a bit. Get some nice high-res graphic effects going on there. So taking these figures out, always fun. It's best, you know, the easiest way to do these is usually with like a surgical scissor or like a X-Acto knife. Because they're really, a lot of these plastic harnesses, they're really in there tight, and they're very thin and hard to get like a normal size scissor around. So, you know, like a finer instrument always makes life a little easier. Alright, so we got this kaiju out of his cage and ready to show you. So, alright, so first off, I'm going to say scale-wise, probably not the best to scale. Godzilla is a lot shorter than Kong. So I'd have to see if I have another figure if I wanted to take pictures, or I could definitely adjust. Like if I took pictures and then I kind of photoshopped it and I could scale Kong down a bit, that might work. But that's if they're like really far apart. But if they're you know, in tight, I'm probably gonna have to pose Kong in such a way where he looks more scaled to size than Godzilla. But I mean, right off the bat, you can see Kong's arms alone. They're almost as tall as Godzilla, which is kind of freaky. So probably not going to be a good representation having them fight together, but you know, still you could probably do some nice some pictures. I have other Godzilla figures that are slightly bigger than this, so I could probably do some pictures like that. So we saw Kong, let's look at Godzilla. So definitely this is a good representation of the King Kong vs. Godzilla So let you get a close-up. It has a lot of articulation points. I mean, the jaw moves, the head moves in all directions. It's like everything is on a ball joint and on this figure. So I mean, you get a lot of movement. Though around the legs, you're probably not going to see much other than what I'm showing you now, like a little bit back and forth, because they're just so bulky. But the top of his head moves. As you go down, it just, you know, you have more articulation as you go down. So it's just split up into different segments and they all move. Mostly twisting, not, oh actually yes, up and down too. So you get a lot of ball joint movement as you move down, progress down the body. So I don't know if you can see closely, but you can see the different segments there. And they move, you know, they move up, down. Same thing with the middle of the body. Middle of the body, more just kind of rotating side to side. Arms, you get slight lateral, not really too much, that's about it. The forearms, just a slight twist. And the hands, you get a little rotation, slight up and down, and the fingertips just kind of grasp a little too. Tail, same thing, different segments. You know, you get some nice motion here. If you can see the ball joint at the end there, that's probably where you get your best motion, and then subsequently down. But yeah, you can see this. You can see the difference in the ball size and the hole. So yeah, you're gonna want to loosen that hole up with some warm water before you try to jam it in. So you know you don't risk the PVC, the plastic, cracking. But yeah, obvious difference there. And once it's in there, it'll be there really. It'll be really secure. So you have an idea. That's how it'll look after. But yeah, very good likeness to the King Kong vs. Godzilla. I was really hoping that these two could do battle. You know, in the box it was kind of difficult to tell the scale without them being out and standing next to each other. They had another Kong in FYE that it looked a little shorter, but it had I'm not sure if it was supposed to be the one in King Kong vs. Godzilla or not, but he definitely didn't look like the Kong from King Kong vs. Godzilla. But I mean, with this Kong, I definitely picked him up because I have lots of Godzilla, so I mean, if it didn't work with this one, it's gonna work with one of them because I got, you know, I must have at least 100 different Godzillas, so we'll get them to work one way or another. But the Godzilla is great likeness. I like it. I don't have one like this on display, so this is nice to have. The King Kong vs. Godzilla variant was the only one I really didn't have much out on display for. So this will be nice to add to the collection. And that's it. Both great figures. You know, if you can get them, I wouldn't, you know, try to get them in the store, brick and mortar, $29.99. I wouldn't pay more than that. I mean, if with these figures, you know, depending on desirability, if they're hard to find, you're going to pay at least 50% more, and then you're always looking at shipping because, you know, most likely, you know, if it's been out for a year or two, you're not going to get it directly from Amazon. You're most likely going to get it from a third-party seller. So, you know, you're looking at another $10 surcharge for shipping. So visit your FYEs. If you're lucky, even maybe Target, you might have these. So check it out. Keep an eye out for them if you're looking. King Kong vs. Godzilla from NECA and Real Toys, and King Kong from NECA and Real Toys. Give you another look at the boxes before we go. Both great figures. I would pick them up. Highly recommend. Thank you for watching. This was The Raging Geek. It was a pleasure as always. Subscribe, follow us on our social media. Hope to see you again. I got more models coming up. Got some Gundam, more Vegeta. Still got that big Boba Fett from Bandai I got coming. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. And hopefully soon we'll get those out. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.
Raging Geek, Retro, all things geek. We're geeks and be geeks.